Okay, so you can just look at me. Um,
I can barely see you.
okay. Is it gonna be too bright?
Okay,
Well,
I see a shadow.
oh, that's okay. As long as you can hear me. So Stan, I'd love for you to talk about what it was like growing up here in Santa Ana. You grew up here, right?
Yes, actually, it started in Cyprus,
Okay.
and I think I went through the fourth grade in Cyprus, and then oh, then I spent some time in Anaheim. Excuse me, Cyprus, Anaheim, and then Santa Ana.
Okay.
So I went to Santa Ana High School. Went
Yeah.
through there.
What year did you graduate? Do you remember?
1952.
Okay. I have a friend that works at Santa Ana High School now. It's a lot different.
I bet. In fact, they had open house. When was it? A couple of years ago, I went to the open house.
Yeah.
I've noticed it was very different.
Yes. Do you remember what it was like? Was it mostly white people at the school, or was it diverse at that point?
You know, we had, yeah, mostly white, Caucasian, and then we had a couple blacks that were very athletic,
Mm-hmm.
and that was about it.
Yeah.
Very few Hispanic at that time.
Yeah. Did you play any sports in high school?
I played, I had cross country, ran cross country, and I ran track.
Okay.
I ran the hurdles and the track, and cross country is what, 2.5 miles or something at that time.
Yeah. So I'm curious. After high school, did you go to college before becoming a firefighter?
I went to junior college.
Okay.
Yeah,
At Santa Ana College.
I went at Santa Ana College, and for a year, and then I went to Fullerton.
Oh,
Yeah.
Fullerton College.
Yeah, because they had I wanted to run the track at Fullerton College.
Oh, I didn't know that. And what made you decide to become a firefighter?
I knew a person. I had a friend that was a firefighter,
Mm-hmm.
and he kind of talked me into it. So it's something that I didn't desire it when I was a kid. I didn't think of it at all. It was good, but as I grew up, I did. I got a desire to become a fireman. So
Yeah. So can you walk us through your career as a firefighter?
okay, I started in Santa Ana, as they called them hosemen at that time,
Mm-hmm.
which was a fireman, and I worked there for. I should have my
You can keep talking.
calendar here.
Okay.
Anyway, I worked there for a few years, and then I got promoted uh, to an engineer in what the heck was that? Orange County.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, Orange County fireman, and then I again promoted to battalion chief in Santa Fe Springs,
Mm-hmm.
and then retired from there and spent some time in Disneyland as a fireman.
41 years it
Yes.
fired.
So
I
you
mean-
were a firefighter for 40.
1 years.
41 years, yeah.
Wow.
And then 20 with Disneyland.
You were there at Disneyland for 20 years.
Right.
Wow. What was that like being at Disneyland for 20 years?
Oh, it was different. You had to check out every building there. It was more of a fire prevention activity than fighting fire. If we had a major fire at Disneyland, we'd always rely upon the city of Anaheim to
Uh-huh.
respond. So, but we had to check everything out from the fire prevention standpoint. Every building, every ride, everything that was on the Disneyland site.
Yeah.
we checked out.
Can you recall one crazy story at Disneyland from your time there?
Oh,
Yeah,
boy.
I remember Matterhorn. Shut down Matterhorn.
Oh, well, the Matterhorn, we inspected the Matterhorn, and there was one door that that we shut. We went through. Excuse me. We went through a door,
Mm-hmm.
and there was a sign there that said that we didn't see it, but is not to use the door. But we did accidentally. I was with the City of Anaheim Fire Department at that time, and it shut down the whole ride. So everybody had to evacuate the ride. So it wasn't much fun for that.
Is it true there's a basketball court inside Matterhorn?
Yes, there is. It's very, very. It's a half court, first of all,
Uh-huh.
and it's not used that much. It probably was in the past, but not when I was there. It wasn't used that much.
Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing about your career. You worked a long time. I also wanted to ask about your personal life. Oh no. And I wanted to hear the story of how you met your first wife, Jan.
I went to school with her.
Okay.
We went to school together,
Uh-huh.
and that's how we met. And then later on, we started dating, and from that, we got married. Yeah.
And how long were you married to her before she passed?
Boy.
Well, she was what, 56?
Yeah.
And how old was she when you got married?
Well, that's what I'm trying to think of. Anyway,
Well, how old were you if you were the same age, probably?
she's 25. I think it was 25. Yeah.
Okay, 25 years. And did you guys raise your 4 kids in this house?
The 3 kids.
3? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm thinking
Yeah,
of one of the
they're all-
in-laws probably. The 3 kids here?
Yeah. The 3 kids were raised here. Yeah.
Okay. Wow.
We started at a house over there in Fullerton, in Orange by the Circle. That was our first home. And I think we had a child there,
Okay.
and then the other 2 were here.
Man, I bet that Orange Circle house is worth a lot now.
It's still there.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, I wonder. do
You
you-
remember which one it was?
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, how
Oh.
come you never showed us?
I'm curious. I would love to see that one day. Do you remember the address?
No.
No.
No, but I remember the house. Believe me.
Wow. Do you remember how much you bought this house for?
Yes, 30,000.
Wow. What a
Yeah.
deal. Ah,
In fact, speaking of the old house in Orange, you can see the house where's that place we eat, the open air area?
Woody's?
No. What is it?
Watson's?
What's that open area that we eat?
Oh, Kimmy's? No, I don't know.
Ruby? Ruby's Diner?
No, it's right on the corner.
Oh, Watson's?
No.
Drugstore? Woody's?
No, it's a restaurant,
El Ranchito?
but it's open. It's an open restaurant. Doesn't have any enclosure at all.
Oh.
Come on, we go there.
I don't know, when you open restaurant with no enclosure.
Yeah.
Other than Woody's,
It's not the
Ponchos?
filling station.
Yeah, that's it. Philly station.
Well, that has a
Oh.
restaurant inside.
Has it?
It's both inside and out.
Well, yeah, but
Oh.
the outside one is always outside.
So you can see the house from the filling station?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Wow. That was close. Okay. And then, so you you were married once before Oma, right?
Yes,
And you don't have to talk about it if you don't want to, but
it was for a very short time.
okay.
Yeah.
And how did you meet my Oma, Rosemarie?
Well, I met her at church, at Calvary Church.
Uh-huh.
We were going to church and how we got hooked up. I'm not real sure now. Somehow my Elmer, my
Uh-huh.
brother-in-law,
Uh-huh.
how did we get hooked up?
Huh?
How did you guys meet?
How did we meet? I know where we
Through-
met, but
Through Fred Stoll.
oh, was it really Fred? Fred Stoll is. Was
They
a-
said, I guess your mom or dad probably said, oh, Fred Stoll, he's German heritage, or his parents, and then they said, oh, yeah, so actually, Fred,
Here, do you want to come sit next to Stan and keep talking? Yeah, come have a seat. So Fred Stoll.
yeah, so the first date I had when he came with Stan to the apartment where I lived,
Uh-huh.
and we went to Mimi's for first all together, and then we drove down to the beach where you take the ferry across.
Oh.
So we kind of just went, the three of us.
Just you two and Fred?
Yeah.
Poor Fred.
But then I proposed to you. You remember where?
Oh, that was late. That was way later. This was the first time around. This was,
Because you guys dated for a while.
yeah,
I
and then,
remember seeing you both in my Aunt Cammie's wedding video.
yeah, this
back in
was way
94.
before. And then after whatever with his other
Second
wife,
wife,
what
yeah.
happened, that was over. Then he used to come, I guess, to where I live in Bakersfield. He found out that's where I was, and so he came occasionally, drove down there, and sometime we would go bike riding down there on the
Boardwalk.
current, yeah, and what else? Oh, we went up. Where did we did that on one of those?
A
Bo-
tandem bike?
No, on the water. We went to one of the lakes up there. I
Oh, a
forget.
paddle boat?
Well, no, we went
Two of them, like
Oh, jet ski.
jet ski.
jet
yeah.
skiing. Yeah.
Whoa.
So different places, because there's a lot of stuff you can go there too,
Yeah.
and yeah. So
So Stan, what made you want to marry my Oma? What did you like about her?
Well, the first thing I liked about her was, one of the main items was that she was a Christian, a believer.
Mm-hmm.
That was important, and that other than that, she had a lot of qualities. Did I say had?
Has.
Yeah.
Yeah. So how did you propose?
Okay. We were at Palm Springs,
Uh-huh.
and we were at
we ate at that place that Aunt Jean always liked. What was it called? Outskirt of Palm Springs. It's an old restaurant. Been there for, gosh, I can.
It was
Billy,
Billie Jean.
not Billy. Bill, I forget the name of it. But anyhow, then we were waiting to be we were sitting there in the cocktail lounge, I guess, waiting. And then I guess that's where he proposed.
I got on my knees and proposed.
Oh, you did not.
You didn't get down on one knee?
Sure, I did.
No, you didn't.
She couldn't remember.
I remember
So
good.
you were in the cocktail area of the restaurant?
Well, kind
The
of
waiting
waiting
area.
area,
Oh,
but there
okay.
weren't that many. I mean, gosh, why can't I think of that restaurant? Because it's still there and everybody goes there.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, so that was, and so he said, Well, I didn't get a ring yet because he wanted me to
Pick
help.
it out.
Yeah. So of course, then when I had to go back to work after my weekend, I didn't want to say anything
Oh.
because I wanted to wait till I got the ring.
Uh-huh.
So anyhow, the next week I went down there and we went to the jewelry place there in Tustin and picked out a ring. And then when I went back to work again that month, I told my supervisor, "Oh, can you us as a group, a meeting? I want to announce something."
So you were you in Bakersfield at the time? Okay.
That was all in Bakersfield.
So,
My last year actually there.
okay.
So.
So getting married moved you back here into Santa Ana?
Yeah, so anyhow, I told him, would you ask everybody to come up front? And so he said, okay, what do you want to say? And so I go, I'm engaged. And oh my gosh, they all came around and, excited and all this stuff. So
How old were you at the time? Do you remember?
62.
62?
It was the year that I turned 62 that I knew I was going to retire.
Ah.
So that all happened, got engaged, then retired, and got married.
Wow.
All the same year.
That's
I was
amazing.
72 or then, huh? 70?
No, you couldn't have been. No,
You said you were 62.
I was 62 and you were 68.
Okay.
You're 5 years older.
Okay.
Just always things like you don't even know how old you are.
I'm sure learning a lot.
And how long have you been married now? It's 2022.
20 years. This year it will be 21 years.
Wow. That's great.
If you say so.
So, going back to Stan, as we wrap up this little interview, I wondered if you have any, how old? You're 87 or 88? 87.
87. He will be 80.
You'll be 88 in April. And I wonder if you have any wisdom you'd like to share for future generations.
Oh boy. That's a good one. Well, the best thing I could say would be to stay close to the Lord, seek His guidance, continual basis, and also continue to worship the Lord. My church, individual prayer life, and so forth.
Mm-hmm.
That's probably what I would recommend the highest.
Yeah. I love that. I think that's great. That actually reminds me of something I didn't ask was about your parents. Were they believers growing up?
Yeah, my father, yes, my father and mother were believers. Of course, my father was from Germany, and he was a believer, before he came over here.
Mm-hmm.
Before then, he met my mother, and
So your mom was an American?
She was an American, yes.
Okay.
And she was from German parents as well, but so that's kind of how they first met anyway.
Yeah. Do you remember why your dad came to the U.S.?
Yeah, it was because of the government. It was still, Hitler had a big influence in Germany, and it was very anti-Christian.
Mm-hmm.
And he said he had to get out of there.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he left.
Wow. And he came here to California?
I think he came to San Francisco first.
Okay.
Yeah, he did that before he met my mom. He worked in the major restaurants
Mm-hmm.
in San Francisco as a waiter, so that was his background.
Wow. Do you remember why they moved down to the Southern California?
Uh, no, I don't. I can't remember why. I
That's
don't know.
okay.
I don't know the reason.
Helen probably would have remembered.
Yeah. It could have
Oh,
been
yeah.
a job or something. But yeah. Well,
But, you know,
wonderful.
very could have been a job.
Didn't he
Yeah.
go on ships too as a waiter?
Not that I know of.
Oh, I thought I somehow recall you maybe mentioned.
Not that I remember. Put
Oh,
it that
yeah.
way.
Well, and Stan, I also didn't you grow up with German shepherds?
Yes. I'm trying to remember how many German shepherds I've had. I had a white one, a pure white one, that unfortunately had a disease that at that time wasn't curable. And then from then on, I had another German shepherd that got out of a fence and a car hit it. And then I had a couple more German shepherds, so I've had several German shepherds.
Wow. And that just happened to be the breed you chose?
Yeah, that's the one I liked.
Yeah. They're very loyal.
They are very, very loyal. Greg has one now, but she's getting old. She's
Yeah.
getting old.
Wonderful. Well, that's all the questions I have. Thank you. I'll stop the video.
You're welcome.
Oh, you got
Sorry.